Visit 10.
It has been a very terrifying day and evening for one grandmother here in South Florida.
That grandmother was at the center of a kidnapping drama with armed captors, a drama that lasted for hours. Tonight, a family member is talking to us about the frightening nightmare. Julia Yarbo is live in Miami with our top story. Julia.
Well, Jackie, that grandmother was a bit too shaken and distraught to speak to us herself, but her oldest son did tell me his mother's tale. It seems that his mother was pulled into a night of violence by default, and police are tending to agree with that, saying that her abductors were actually after her youngest son. The motive? Well, they're not saying for certain, but they believe it had something to do with his alleged drug dealings. For the second time in one day, 64-year-old Antonia Diaz is escorted by authorities and family. This time, however, she returns to what she hopes will be the safe cover of her home.
All I can say is be careful, and thanks God that she's alive.
Alive, although shaken and bruised. Miami police say Diaz suffered a kidnapping ordeal beginning at about 3:30 this morning when she returned home from playing bingo. Diaz's son says his mother tells him there were 3 men involved in this attack. One was hiding behind a van parked in the driveway. 2 others were crouched on the front porch. When she tried to enter the door, they made their move. The men, one armed, forced Diaz into a car, drove around for several hours, then ended up here at the Turk Motel. Pistol whipped and denied food and water, Diaz remained captive. The men say police were demanding money and jewelry as ransom from Diaz's family.
She was followed home. This has nothing to do with drugs. They're saying that about her son is not true.
Investigators managed to track the suspects to the motel and surrounded the place.
It was surprise on their part. They opened the door, they saw us, and it does clearly say police. And I guess they got the right idea. They turned and run.
Now, Diaz's son says his mother told him that those men had actually bored a hole in the ceiling of that motel and took off out of the roof when they saw the police outside. 2 of the men were captured. 1 is still on the loose. As for Diaz, she is at home with her family. She was taken to JMH for treatment, but she has a few cuts and bruises and is expected to be just fine. We're live in Miami. Julia Yarbo, WB39, News at 10.
Thank you very much, Julia. New at 10 o'clock for you tonight. The Sheriff's Office in Broward County needs your help this evening to find the man who robbed and held up a fast food restaurant. Take a very close look at the right of the television screen. Police officers say the gunman walked into the Subway store on South Federal Highway in Dania Beach on Friday night and robbed the store. He stood in line with the other customers, even placed his order, but that's when police officers say instead of paying for his meal, he pointed a weapon at an employee and took off with an undisclosed amount of cash. Giving information about this crime, call Crime Stoppers in Broward County.
A small child is dead tonight, the victim of a deadly accident in Coral Springs. Police say the accident happened at Atlantic Boulevard at Coral Springs Drive in Coral Springs. A 3-year-old child traveling in one of the vehicles was airlifted to Broward General, where she later died.
At the point in time, they're still checking with witnesses to see if anybody ran a red light or who had the green light. At this point in time, we don't know.
Police say the young girl was strapped in a car seat. An investigation is underway tonight. A Hialeah police officer could face a number of charges, this following a deadly car crash involving a police cruiser.
Our reporter tonight is Patricia Andreu. She's live in Hialeah with much more of this story. Good evening, Patricia.
At about this time last night, this intersection of Palm Avenue and 32nd Street in Hialeah was closed after a fatal accident involving a Hialeah police officer and an innocent driver. Hialeah PD says it's within its guidelines for a police officer to run a red light, when responding to an emergency call. But now there's an investigation as to why this response resulted in death. Tears of disbelief flow in this Hialeah home as friends and family mourn the loss of Lázaro Rodriguez. The 28-year-old was killed instantly Sunday night when a Hialeah police cruiser responding to an emergency call ran a red light and crashed into Rodriguez's Ford Explorer.
I feel so sorry for him because he was a good boy.
Alexis Nodal was the last person to see Rodriguez alive. The victim stopped by Nodal's home for a quick visit.
He called his house, his wife, and said, prepare my food, I'm going home. He was chilling, you know, not in a hurry, nothing. And we talked for 10 minutes, and after that, he left my house and was the accident.
Back at Rodriguez's home, his wife began to worry. Then she and her father-in-law started to search the streets for Lázaro.
y efecto era las 12:30, 1.
Rodriguez's father said they stumbled across the accident scene and saw his son's car. Hialeah police maintain Officer Jorge Rodriguez had his lights flashing and siren blaring as he headed north on Palm Avenue, running the red light and crashing right into the victim's car.
We answer calls on emergency mode every day by the thousands, and things like this can't happen. It's the nature of the business that we're in.
Hialeah police will not yet confirm the nature of the emergency call. They say Officer Rodriguez, who's been on the force for about 2 years, is still on duty, even as the department conducts its investigation. Lázaro Rodriguez leaves behind his wife and 2-year-old daughter. They're now preparing for his funeral tomorrow. Reporting live in Hialeah, Patricia Andreu, WB39 News at 10.
Patricia, thank you. Meanwhile, a major DEA investigation into the trafficking of methamphetamine has resulted in more than 120 arrests nationwide, including 3 people in Fort Lauderdale. The DEA says tonight those arrested locally allegedly distributed the cold relief medication to labs across the country. Those labs then illegally used the drug to manufacture a drug commonly known as crystal meth. More details of the investigation will be announced tomorrow afternoon in Washington.
A couple from Sweetwater who police officers say tortured their own son is facing even more charges tonight. Ricardo and Josefa Davila appeared before a judge in Miami today. Besides the charge of attempted murder, the couple is now charged with kidnapping, child neglect, and also aggravated battery. Police officers arrested them earlier this month. They allegedly beat their own son with an electrical cord and made him eat his own vomit. The trial will start on the 2nd of October.
A 13-year-old boy is recovering in the hospital tonight after crashing a car into a Broward home. Police say the teen stole a car yesterday and went for a joyride. The ride ended when he accidentally went careening into a home near Fort Lauderdale. Authorities say the adolescent was under house arrest at the time. He's listed in serious condition.
It is an accident that is tragic, but also very ironic. The woman who led the fight to make motorcycle helmets optional here in Florida has now died in a motorcycle accident. Police say the woman was not wearing her helmet at the time of this accident. It seems that 40-year-old Lynn Rushton did not stop at an intersection over in Fort Myers. The impact from the crash threw her about 50 feet, killing her. Linton led the effort for the new no helmet required law, which recently went into effect here in Florida.
Police in Broward are baffled by an acid attack that killed a man. Tonight they need help in finding his killer. Homicide detectives from the Broward Sheriff's Office spent the afternoon handing out flyers on Commercial Boulevard and Sea Ranch Lakes. Detectives are looking for the person who threw acid on 64-year-old Rudolph Huda in the parking lot of a Publix in Sea Ranch Lakes. He later died from his injuries. If you have any information, you can call Broward Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS. He's already serving time for his crimes in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. Now the thief police call Spider-Man goes on trial in Palm Beach County. Jury selection began today in the trial of Derek James. Police say he scaled several high-rises in Palm Beach and Boca Raton, burglarizing several condominiums. James is already serving a 53-year sentence for burglary convictions in Miami-Dade and Broward. Tonight we are seeing new pictures of a Concorde flight forced to make an emergency landing.
Now these new pictures are coming in to our newsroom on the same day when new information is now available on the crash that happened in Paris last week. Ari Otter joins us now with much more of this. Ari?
Willard, they're thinking a fuel leak caused the crash, but it's way too early to tell for sure. Right now, Air France officials are trying everything they can to get the rest of their grounded Concorde fleet up and flying again, while at the same time, British Airways is doing safety checks on its own supersonic jets after an emergency landing yesterday. A high-flying Concorde jet grounded in Canada. The captain told passengers he was taking no chances, cutting the flight to New York short by landing in Gander, Newfoundland, because he smelled fuel in the cabin.
Petrol smell, fuel was just overwhelming the whole cabin of the plane. So the pilot basically descended really quick.
Among the passengers on the flight, singer Tony Bennett, who praised the flight crew's handling of the incident. Jazz great George Benson was also along for the ride.
I did this 36 years ago. They diverted our plane from Italy here.
Oh, they did?
Ran out of fuel.
Concorde or?
No, there was no Concorde 36 years ago.
No, exactly.
People were nervous. I mean, you know, when you have an accident like that 2 days ago, you're a bit nervous because, you know, it just happened.
The British Airways Concorde scare comes just a week after the Air France Concorde crash near Paris killed 114 people. Now, crash investigators say it may take a year and a half before they can definitively say what caused that plane to go down. At the moment, Investigators say it looks like a blown tire may have ruptured a fuel line, which in turn may have prevented engines from generating enough thrust to perform a normal takeoff. Meantime, British Airways says it will continue flying its Concorde, saying the planes are safe. All the passengers from the flight which landed in Canada were flown safely to New York in a Boeing 737. In case you were wondering, Tony Bennett's publicist said he's doing just fine, and some of the passengers said they would fly the Concorde again. Willard and Jackie?
Oh, that is good news. Okay. Thank you, Ari. Well, if you light up, get ready to pay up.
That's right, cigarette prices on the rise again. It's going to cost you more if you're a smoker.
President Clinton is in South Florida raising money and raising eyebrows at the actions of Republicans.
And the power of music working magic tonight for people who are sick. We'll be right back.
Entertainment Weekly ranks them as the best two shows on broadcast television. A Buffy and Angel 2-hour event. A saga that begins with Buffy.
You shouldn't have come back, sir.
And ends in L.A. with Angel. Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. Tuesday night starting at 8 on WB39.
Check my butt out.
Sean and Malia take off. Don't miss the next blind date.
Tonight at 10:30 on WB39.
Car insurance bills getting too hot to handle. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At least you'll feel smart when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The supercut? It's the just make me look 21. Because there's nothing left to pierce. The 8-ball in the side pocket. The cue ball at the corner pocket. Whatever you call it, we can cut it at a price that looks good too. Supercuts, as hip as you want to be.
Something hot is happening at your Toyota dealer. It's Toyota's hot sales event, bringing you no interest or low interest rates on Camry, the best-selling car in America 3 years in a row. That's right, no interest or low interest on Camry CE, with 0 interest for 12 months or up to 5.9% for 60 months. You pick the term and get a great low rate. Now that's hot. You don't want to miss out on these savings. Get to Toyota's hot sales event going on now.
Live from the NBC 6 studios, this is WB39 News 18.
The Republican National Convention is underway in Philadelphia. Today, the GOP officially nominated George W. Bush and his running mate, Dick Cheney, to represent the party. This afternoon, Bush's wife, Laura, practiced the speech she'll be making tonight at the convention. Governor Bush will also address the convention tonight via a satellite TV hookup. And if you would like to keep up with what's going on this election 2000, just log on to our website at WB39.com. Well, while the Republicans opened their convention today in Philadelphia, President Clinton is in South Florida raising money for the Democratic Party.
President Smith this morning in Tampa, he is helping Democratic United States Senate candidate Bill Nelson raise money for what could be the most expensive Senate race ever here in Florida. While in Tampa at a fundraising luncheon for Nelson, Clinton spoke out about the Democrats' move to help seniors pay their medical expenses.
It should not be a partisan political issue in Washington. We have the money. We can do it, provide a tax cut, invest in our children, and still get the country out of debt. All we have to do is decide what our priorities are, how much we care about it.
The events this week expected to raise more than $1 million to help the Democrats win the seat won by Republican Connie Mack back in 1988.
If you smoke, taking a puff from your cigarette is going to cost you more money. There is word tonight 2 of the country's largest cigarette makers are raising wholesale cigarette prices. Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds are reportedly raising the cost by 6 cents a pack. A tobacco analyst says the increase is very modest. Other tobacco companies are expected to follow suit. The increase comes in the wake of the historic multi-billion-dollar reward against big tobacco. Today, attorneys for sick Florida smokers rejected a move by the tobacco industry, which would have moved the case to federal court. A Florida jury heard the 2-year-long case and penalized tobacco companies $145 billion. The smokers' attorneys are asking the judge to now send the case back to state court.
Well, there's some new evidence coming out tonight about the power of music.
From the operating room to the recovery room, doctors are using a new technique that is music to their patients' ears. We'll have details next.
Plus, the damage is now in the millions. That's the number of acres being burned up tonight by wildfires that are out of control. An update on the firefight straight ahead.
And I'm meteorologist Roland Stedham. We have a weak area of low pressure that is developing to the southeast along with a tropical wave, and it's headed this way. I'll tell you how it's going to be affecting our weather when we come up next right here. Keep it on the WB39 News Channel.
Nothing is better than freedom. Every Hyundai comes with the Freedom of America's Best Warranty Plan. So for the next 10 years, instead of worrying about your car, worry about other things, like the SPF of your sunscreen. The Sonata from Hyundai.
Hurry in and get the Sonata with 0.9% APR financing now.
At the end of any given month, something strange happens to the unused minutes you buy from most wireless providers. They get thrown away. But at Bell South Mobility, things are a little different. They aren't going anywhere. They now roll over to the next month. Introducing Rollover Minutes, only from Bell South Mobility, where we feature Motorola digital phones. They're your minutes. Keep them.
Where's the coolest place to be this summer? Papa John's during the big summertime chill. Register to win cool prizes, like a 2001 Toyota Corolla Sport, an in-ground swimming pool, Colorado ski trip, Florida Panthers season tickets, 3 Jamaican vacations, a Blizzard Beach vacation, or round-trip tickets to anywhere in the U.S. It's summertime and the chillin's easy, with a large one-topping pizza and an icy cold 2-liter Coke. Just $9.99 during Papa John's big summertime chill.
More people choose Ford than any other car or truck during Ford's authorized clearance. And why? Lease a Ford Expedition for only $329 a month for 24 months with $3,029 do-it lease signing. Or get total savings of over $6,800 on Ford Excursion. Now during the Ford authorized clearance and only at your South Florida Ford dealer. Hurry in today and drive an Expedition for only $329 a month. Live from the NBC6 studios, this is WB39 News 18.
9 days and there's little progress in the fight against wildfires out west. Fire has consumed a large portion of the Sequoia National Forest in central California. Not too far from there, 8 homes were destroyed by flames in Kennedy Cove near Sacramento. Near 50 fires are raging in 10 states out west. Fire officials are saying this is the worst fire season they have seen in more than a decade. In the meantime, across the state of Florida, we're certainly getting more than our fair share of rain, especially along the west coast, and the reason is we're under the influence of a southeasterly flow. So that southeast flow pushes most of the storms to the west. In fact, the Doppler radar is showing that most of the storms are settling down. We did have severe thunderstorms earlier today between Fort Myers and Naples, and now just a couple of stray showers on the breeze that could come in later on tonight. 83 degrees outside right now. That is the current reading in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale. It is also the current reading in Key West. Orlando right now reporting in at 81 degrees, and also in Tallahassee it is 81. So here's the state of Florida. Watch this little feature we have spinning around over the northern Bahamas. It is a weak area of low pressure that is developing out there. There's also a weak tropical wave stretching across the Bahamas and across Cuba. So all of this is going to be interacting with our weather pattern for the next 24 to 48 hours. But I think that overall it's going to keep a nice abundance of moisture in the atmosphere over South Florida for the next couple of days, and that is being confirmed by the Futurecast this evening. So that means a little better chance of showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon for the next couple of days. We were 91 degrees for the high today, Miami and in Fort Lauderdale. 95 was the high in Brownsville and in Dallas-Fort Worth. Out here in the desert southwest where they have that heat wave, it has been a scorcher and continues to be that way. In Salt Lake City, the high temperature today, 102 degrees. So there's a trough that continues up and down the eastern seaboard, down into the Gulf Coast region, and that trough is producing just a number of showers and thunderstorms from Houston, where they had severe weather today, right on up the spine of the Appalachians, mid-Atlantic states, into the Northeast as well, where it is still raining to this hour. So here's my forecast then for the boaters tomorrow. Wind is going to be out of the southeast at 15 knots. Seas about 2 to 4 feet. Surf temperature at 86 degrees. Tonight, stray showers are possible on the breeze, about 78 degrees for the low. And with these stray showers, we may see a brief downpour. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, a little better storm chance. And the same goes for Wednesday, and then we'll dry things out Thursday and Friday. Have a good night. Here's Willard and Jackie.
Do that too. Thank you very much, Roland. Well, some people, of course, like to dance. Others use music to make them feel better. Well, what about using music to take away the pain?
Sounds good. A new study is underway in Salt Lake City, Utah that's testing just that. Researchers are having patients about to undergo surgery listen to music or think positive thoughts the day before the operation. The music then stays on during surgery. Researchers are hoping the music relaxes a patient so much they need less medication.
We've done a lot with the technology. We've done a lot with the science. Now we do need to look back a little bit and think of what we've lost in terms of patients' needs.
Doctors and nurses involved in the study say so far there's already been a difference in a patient's response to pain.
Interesting idea. We'll see how that works. Craig Minervini standing by, getting ready for the sports. But before that, we're also going to have for you tonight a story about a famous writer who is starting a new chapter in his life.
From print to pictures, funny man Dave Barry is starring in a whole new role tonight. Details ahead.
That's girl. That is so not going to happen. What's eating you? Please, that's what. But I put flea control on you yesterday. Yeah, not working. But I...
Hello? Ever hear of Advantage? It stops fleas from biting me in minutes. But I guess I'm not good enough for Advantage.
But I love you.
Well, you could try showing it. A trip to the vet will be nice. Until then, you can bet your own ball.
Advantage, the fastest flea control.
And don't get it all slobbery.
What's your best deal? Happy wash, $4.99.
Coupon.
Oh, early bird special, $1.99. Take care of my baby. That's my car. You need a car? We'll show you the way. Marooney, the best price, guaranteed. When you need a car, you need Marooney.
What you can see may frighten you.
Here we go.
But on August 4th,
Sebastian, are you in here?
You have no idea how much fun this is.
what you can't see will terrify you.
It's amazing what you can do when you don't have to look at yourself in the mirror anymore.
Hollow Man. Rated R. Opens everywhere Friday.
All the world over so easy to see. People everywhere just wanna be free.
Primeco has become Verizon Wireless. Join in.
All the world over so easy to see. People everywhere just wanna be free.
Primeco has become Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Good evening, everybody. Marlins wheeling and dealing today, but this time the big name in salary coming this way. Surprise, surprise. O. Henry now a Marlin. We'll have details on that in a moment. First, tonight's game at the Pro. The Houston Astros in town with the first of 4. Fish off to a good start again. Preston Wilson, the leading RBI guy, base hit. Here comes Kotze. He scores, and it's 1-0. However, just getting in there, the Stros pitcher Jose Lima showing good glove on Andy Fox. Take a look at this. Fox, the lefty hitter, right back to the blonde pitcher who throws the first and easy. Twin killing. It was 1-0 Marlins when Craig Biggio took A.J. Burnett deep. This was the start of an Astro comeback, and Houston won it tonight by the final of 4-2. As for the deal, 32-year-old outfielder Henry Rodriguez is now a Marlin. The Fish sending 2 minor leaguers to Chicago. But the shock really is O. Henry makes a big salary. The Cubs did send cash in the deal, but it will still cost the Fish over $1 million the next 2 months. Are these the same old Marlins? The answer is no.
We thought under the circumstances of how the club played, we wanted to at least to show them that we're trying to win as many games as we can. And I think we're in a position where we can finish positive. The club's played well. They've done a good job. We figure that we have a chance to stay competitive.
This guy's a proven major league hitter, very experienced, very professional, great person.
everybody has always said great things about Henry.
All right, to football, the Miami Dolphins announcing their first depth chart of Cam Wanstead today as they prepare for the Pittsburgh Steelers to actually play a game Saturday at Three Rivers. One early surprise, very heated battle. Johnny Box starting at right guard, a position where the Finns look to have plenty of depth.
It's the same every year, anywhere you are. I think you always come in and you know there's going to be a competition. You're in the NFL, and that's everybody you're playing with is a good player.
I think how good we can be in our running game really showed. Our passing game needs a little work, but we're only 10 days into camp at the time we went up there. So I don't think it's something that we have to worry about just yet, but I think it's something that we definitely need to focus on in the next couple of weeks.
Hey, if you're a free agent or rookie out of northern Colorado, you do whatever it has to be done to get noticed. That's what Scott Zimmerman is doing, fighting his way to get a look from the coaches.
But I need to learn how to, control my temper, and I think that it just gets a little heated out there sometimes, and sometimes you just don't think straight, I guess. But I just hope to, really do good on special teams in the preseason games, play good at linebacker, and take care of my responsibilities, and just, try and do my best, and that's all I can really do.
In the works here, 9-player trade for the Heat. Not done yet, but it looks like P.J. Brown and Jamal Mashman could be going to Charlotte for Eddie Jones and Anthony Mason, among others. The deal could be official as soon as tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's a signing day, right?
Tomorrow's the first day that they can officially announce these things. They're trying to work it out. We'll see.
Rumor mill is running.
Yes.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, most of us obviously love his writings.
Yeah, many of us do. And now Dave Barry is setting his sights on a new production. Barry Goes Hollywood, next.
Hi, I'm Bob from FPL. What do you live for?
My daughter Lee.
My dog. Hey, Rocky, I can't keep up here. I live for my family.
My family.
Volleyball.
I live for the martial arts. I just love it.
Happiness. Hey, what do you live for? Live to ride, Bob.
No matter what your reasons are for staying safe, you should always stay away from power lines. Be sure to look up when using ladders, antennas, or pruning saws. Safety is everyone's responsibility.
What do you live for? For me. That's right.
Taking the troops on a weekend away?
Unless I'm still camped out here.
You could use a bigger washer and dryer from Sears. Save $120 while this chem repair is on sale. You'll also save a cool $50 on this chem.
Show it to you. And we're happy to be here with you.
Well, that does it for us tonight. Blind Date coming up next.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 10. Good night, everyone.
Good night.